strange how one event can change the entire course of your life.
Thanks, Joe.
It ain't for you, baby.
You're such a gentleman.
That's right.
Did Joe tell you he got promoted?
No, he didn't.
He put 3 people as foremen. I just happened to be one of them. No big deal.
Well, I think it's a big deal.
I want to know your name. Come on, baby. What? Cat got your tongue.
She's married.
Maybe she just thinks she's too good for me.
I think you should leave.
Leave? I just got here. Come on, Ralph. She's married. Let's go. Is there a problem here?
This man's a rat's and dog.
I think you need to leave, buddy.
Hey, Sayer, Sheriff, it's for you.
I think I'm gonna go home now. You don't have to walk me out, Gloria. I'll call you tomorrow.
I, Benjamin Larson, do solemnly swear that I will support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of Louisiana, that I will enforce the laws, and that I will well and faithfully execute the duties of Sheriff of Choctaw Parish, so help me God.
Congratulations, Sheriff.
Thanks, Judge Coughlin. You know, my father served almost 4 terms before his life was cut short. I only wish he were here today. I think he'd be stunned. And I don't think that's too strong of a word, stunned. Neither of us ever envisioned I would have a career in law enforcement. He was the very definition of a sheriff. Fearless, composed, self-assured. And I don't know that I'm any of that, but I do thank you for your support for making Choctaw Parish a safer place to live and work.
Congratulations, Sheriff. This next one up is the latest release from Bronco Jr. Rising the charts, it's rocking the country.
Country girls, country boys all over the country making some noise. Redneck women are four-wheel driving while they're drinking dark whiskey to Gary Allen, looking out for the boys in blue while they rock the country. And it's written on their t-shirts too, they rockin' the country. Rockin' slow and easy to Tennessee whiskey. Come a little closer, baby, let's get frisky. Better hope Becky's Bible is still in my glove box. When we get done cutting tires on the white rock, Jesus knows we're rockin'.
Hey, a toast. Sheriff Lawson on his 5th term.
All the way to Sunday service, rockin' the country, yeah. Down in Mardi Gras and it's spring break, and the summer times we spend out on the lake at the red.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I moved here a few weeks ago.
Where are you staying?
Miss Stevenson?
Ah, Miss Stevenson, that poor dear woman.
Uh-huh.
Her husband passed away recently.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty tragic.
It's too bad. He was a good man.
Well, you know, she's been feeling lonely and I needed an inexpensive place to live, so it worked out. She's very sweet.
What brings you to lovely Coldwell Spring?
Well, you're looking at the new school teacher at Coldwell Spring High School.
I don't remember teachers looking that good when I was in high school.
I'm an English teacher.
You're replacing Miss Weeks?
Yeah. Yeah, she's retired.
How's that working out?
Well, great, I think. I mean, I have amazing students. Actually, I was wondering if you'd pop by and maybe talk to them one afternoon.
I'd love to.
That would be really, really nice.
Sheriff, congratulations on that 5th term, man.
Hey, thanks.
We'll talk later about that DUI. Law enforcement always gets the prettiest women.
Oh, I love this song. What does a lady have to do to get a dance around her?
Just ask.
Okay.
Found a portrait of you, put it on the wall, from the depths of my messy secret dresser drawer. Stood back just a little more, with the sunlight coming in, kissed the frame. Gazed at your oceans, your eyes so blue, there was passion so bright, I just never knew. Hold myself down, the path that drew you was so far away.
Sheriff, I have something I really need to talk to you about.
Even though we both agreed to walk away, I knew I'd need my heart.
I'll be back as soon as I can. This better be important. This is an official law enforcement matter. I need you to keep it quiet until we can properly investigate.
I hope you're right in there, Jimmy.
Domestic dispute?
Disturbing the peace. I got there before things got too far out of hand.
By the way, I'm going to New Orleans tomorrow.
To see Rachel?
Yeah, I haven't seen her since my mother's funeral.
Do you need me to call you if anything comes up?
Nah, nothing's gonna come up you can't handle.
See the stage, I can't explain it. I could hear her calling. Could be years, but I'll still step out like coming home. So you tell me life's a story. We don't know what's in it, but you say you want to find out on your own.
Hello, Ben.
Hello, Ann.
Rachel, your father's here. Would you like to come in?
I think I'll just wait here.
So, how you been?
Good, you?
Good.
Still seeing, what's his name, Bill?
No.
Mom.
You two don't get into too much trouble.
Oh, it's a little late for that.
Nice house.
Yeah, Grandpa got it for us.
So, Asian Tex. Where are we going?
It's a secret mission, Asia Y. You'll just have to wait and see.
And these fun hands still write love songs with a happy end.
There's a crack in it.
Maybe the movers broke it when they shipped it.
Venus mourning the death of Adonis. He was impaled by the tusk of a hot wild boar while hunting.
Venus, goddess of love, right?
The Roman goddess, which I always thought was strange. If Boscart wanted to paint the death of a Greek god, why isn't he being mourned by the Greek goddess of love, Aphrodite?
It's 14th century Italian Renaissance. The artist is unknown. It's an altarpiece.
It's very beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, it looks like an altarpiece.
They're very common at the time.
Dad, this is my art teacher, Miss Jones.
Ben Larson.
Nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure to meet you.
Rachel is one of my brightest students.
Well, she's certainly given me an education.
Sure.
Yes.
Thank you so much for coming this afternoon. The kids really enjoyed that.
It was a pleasure.
What are you doing for the rest of the afternoon?
I don't have any plans.
I was thinking to go down to Coldwell Spring Lake and just grab some beers and hang out. You're welcome to join me.
I actually live on Coldwell Spring Lake.
You
Why don't
do?
you, why don't you join me down there and we'll have a beer at the end of the dock.
Well, that sounds really nice. Okay.
Super.
All right. Well, I'll see you later then.
Okay.
Okay. Bye.
Hey.
How's it going? Just kidding, just kidding.
Okay. It's going great since you got here. How you gonna get you a beer?
I would love a beer.
Ah,
Thank
thanks.
you. It's a beautiful lake.
Yes, yes it is.
Wow.
It's fed by a natural spring that connects it to an enormous underground cold water well.
Oh, is that why the town got its name? Coldwell Spring.
That's exactly why they named it Coldwell Spring.
Oh, I should have known that. Thank you.
De nada, amiga.
Cheers. You mentioned the other day when we were dancing that you'd been married twice.
Yes.
What happened?
You don't waste much time, do you?
Well, if we're going to get to know one another, I have to ask questions.
Well, do you want to know about my first ex or my second ex?
Both, I guess.
Okay. Graduated from Coldwell Spring High, joined the Marines, ended up in Nam at the fall of Saigon. I was on one of the last aircraft out of there, walking out to the plane, and I'm approached by this old Vietnamese woman with a young girl. I knew enough Vietnamese to understand the girl's name was Dow. Her parents had been killed in the war.
That's terrible.
Yes. Older woman pleaded with me to take Dow to the U.S. At first, the crew chief said no, but then he relented. Anyway, I got back to the U.S. I was 19, still had 3 years left on my enlistment. Didn't know what to do, so I put her in an orphanage. Sometime after that, I got out of the Marines, graduated from college. I was elected sheriff for the first time in 1984, the same year that Dow turned 18. So I went looking for her. I think I was more curious than anything, you know? And I felt sorry for her, as if I'd abandoned her. She still had her heart set on going to California. I'd just been elected sheriff. I couldn't just pick up and leave. So I told Dow when we got married, I said, look, I'll do one term and then we'll do whatever you want to do.
Did you love her?
Yes, I loved her.
Did she love you?
You'd have to ask her that question.
So she left you?
Well, we had our marital problems or differences even before we got married, like everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't happy in Coldwell Spring. Still had her heart set on going out to the West Coast. One hand, I thought maybe by going out to California we could fix our problems. On the other hand, I felt like the town and the parish needed me.
So you stayed here in Coldwell Spring?
Yes. And then toward the end of our first year of marriage, there was an incident.
What kind of incident?
Found a portrait of you, put it on the wall, from the depths of my messy secret dresser drawer.
How was your weekend?
It was great.
Bet it was. You want to keep your distance from Susan Miller. All I'm saying is, you may want to watch your back.
Whoa. Did I scare you?
Startled, yeah. Scared, now there's a difference. Yeah.
Well, I kind of thought I'd surprise you.
Yeah.
I can leave if you'd like me to.
No, you can stay. Actually, I'd prefer you stay.
I think it's best I stay. Are you alright?
What?
Are you okay?
No.
I worry about you. Oh, you should go to counselling.
There are some things I just can't seem to verbalize. I mean, I want to say them, but the words just don't come out.
Maybe next session we can explore what's really holding you back.
Human remains were discovered on the final day of deer hunting season 8 miles east of Coldwell Spring. The remains are believed to be those of Rowdy Landry, a Texas man who went missing along with a Charles Ray Carter.
The district attorney's looking for you.
I presume he's in his office.
Is there a reason I had to watch News Center 6 last night to learn about those remains the hunters found in the woods?
I was going to tell you when I got more information.
And when would that have been?
When I got more information.
Ben, I do hope we're still on the same team. Take a look at that. It's the 1985 Cargena, Texas police report on Rowdy Landry and Charles Ray Carter. Those two boys were last seen here in Coldwell Spring. It's been a cold case ever since. Weren't you sheriff back then?
Yes, I'd only been in office about a year.
By the way, I'm going to need to take physical custody of those remains and any other evidence you found out there in the woods.
What?
The remains that we think are Rowdy Landry's?
They're in the evidence locker. There's not that much to see. I'll send one of my deputies down there.
Ben, if there's anything you want to tell me about this case, you know where I am.
Hello, Susan Miller speaking.
Susan, it's me, Ben. If you don't have any plans, why don't you come over? I'll cook dinner for us.
No, I'm afraid that's not going to work. No, we'll have to reschedule this. Let's check later on in the week. Sounds good. Thanks. I appreciate your agreeing to combine our efforts.
Yeah, I like the way you set this
Do
up
you like
outside. It's
sushi?
very romantic, but it's
Yeah, no,
it's
it's kind of a bug.
bugs. I mean, I forgot to
Yeah.
tell you that I have a bit of a
bug problem.
little bit. Yeah, I don't like them very much,
Yeah.
especially spiders.
Right. Well, I'll try to keep insects away from you.
Thank you. Good start.
Yes. So, what kind of food do you like?
I love Thai food. I love Indian food.
Yes.
So thank you for dinner. It was really nice.
Have you ever been married?
Have I ever been married? Are you coming on to me?
I might be.
Yeah, once.
You know, this is our third date, and I really don't know that much about you. I mean, I know you're a teacher, and I know that you live in Texas for a while. I'm still trying to figure out how an English girl ends up in Texas. But that's really about it.
Well, there's not much to tell, really. I mean, you're looking at it.
True.
I grew up in England, and then me and my family moved to Texas. And when I was 10, they died of a tragic accident. So, yeah. So I decided to stay in Texas, and I've been traveling around the US, and I'm here now. So
I don't not feel like an idiot now.
it's okay. It was a long time ago. You're not to know. It's fine.
Ben Larson? No, I'm actually with Susan. We just finished dinner. What kind of information? Are you sure? Why don't we talk about it in your office tomorrow? Yes, that'll be fine. I'll swing by right after my morning brief to my deputies.
What?
When were you going to tell me you were married to Rowdy Landry?
Well, when were you going to tell me that he raped Dow?
That's different.
Why? Because you're a sheriff and I'm just a school teacher?
Those are your words, not mine.
Look, I'm sorry. I know I should have said something, but it's just a short chapter in my life I would prefer not to relive, okay?
Look, Susan, I understand. I get it. I just don't like getting blindsided.
I wasn't trying to. I married Rowdy in 85. I mean, he wasn't even my type. He was obnoxiously persistent and very charming. But he had a drinking problem. And we used to live in Texas together. And we used to go out and he used to drink and drink and drink and drink. And then he would just pick fights and I'd have to drag him out. And it was just this continuous thing of, it was just... Anyway, look, I was young, I was stupid, and I thought I could change him. And then one day I'd had enough. I left. And then a little time after that, he disappeared with Charlie. And quite frankly, I didn't care.
Hello?
Yeah, it's me, Ben.
Ben, it's been a long time.
Yes, it has been a long time.
Are you still in Coldwell Spring?
Yep, I'm still here.
You still sheriffing?
And I'm still sheriffing, although I could retire now at half pay if I wanted to. How have you been?
Busy. I mean, everything's finally coming together for me.
I know. I saw you in Midnight Reception.
Really?
Played right down at the Coldwell Theater.
Oh, is that place still there?
Yeah, they refurbished it a few years ago.
No, I did most of my own stunts.
I'm impressed.
Well, my agent kind of freaked out about the motorcycle chase.
Look, Dal, some hunters found some remains in the woods and they're rowdy Landry's. Anyway, District Attorney O'Neill has reopened the case and he's working with the Louisiana Bureau of Investigation. So you're probably going to get some phone calls.
Dad, I got into law school.
Just wait till your mother hears the news.
Yeah, I'm gonna go tell her now.
What are you planning on doing with that axe?
Solve a lot of problems with a well-sharpened axe.
You can also create a lot of problems with a well-sharpened axe.
Not if you're smart about it.
I guess that counts you out.
Well, I guess it does.
Bill Mitchell used to say he was there to make sure everyone knew their place.
He was also there to make sure he got a cut from whatever money was flowing in and out of Choctaw Parish.
I'm not sure if Ben was fearless or just too green to appreciate what Bill could do to a man who went up against him.
Ben didn't have any law enforcement experience.
He served in the military, and that goes a long way with most folks around here. And even though he didn't believe in the war in Vietnam, when his number come up, he went anyway.
And people loved his father.
He had the Larson name, and when election night was over, Ben beat him by 15 votes. Bill's people demanded a recount. When that didn't go their way, they filed a lawsuit.
The law firm I was working for in Shreveport at the time represented Ben.
The night before the hearing before the Louisiana Supreme Court, Bill had a heart attack and died, and the Bill Mitchell era was officially over.
District Attorney O'Neill, you want to talk with me?
I got to meet a man who wants to buy one of my bulls.
It was good to see you, Dirt.
Likewise, Jim. Ma'am?
Please, have a seat. How did you acquire that Mustang?
The bank repossessed it about a year after the incident. They put it up for auction to pay off the note. My father showed up and bought it for me as a birthday present.
You must have been the envy of a lot of young men in Coldwell Spring.
I had owned that car for about 2 years when I wrapped it around a tree. The insurance company totaled it, wrote me a check, and sold what was left of it for parts. So it's gone.
If you think of anything else, please call me.
He dropped by the other day and asked a lot of questions.
What'd you tell him?
Be careful driving home.
I will. Dad, special agent's here.
David, thanks for coming over. Please, come in. Have a seat. Can I get you a Irish whiskey, perhaps?
Sure.
I hope you're going to be able to stay for dinner. Mary's fixing Irish stew tonight.
Yeah, sure, I'll stay. I don't have any plans.
I knew your boss long before he became the Attorney General. In fact, he was the editor of the Law Review when I started law school. Tried to tell me what to do back then, too.
So how does an Irishman end up in a small northern Louisiana town, if you don't mind me asking?
During World War II, the young men here in Coldwell Spring were organized into the Louisiana Lightning Battalion. Their motto was Offender Velocitaire, Offender Furious.
Strike quickly, strike hard.
Sadly, 3/4 of those boys died on the beaches at Normandy. As you can expect, it was a shock to the town and to the surrounding area. Labor shortage occurred. Anybody walked into Gulf South Pulp and Paper Company looking for a job was hired on the spot. My da came here from Ireland, joined the Marines to fight for his new country. When the war was over, he was looking for a job. Came here, went to the mill, stayed there for 38 years, married a local farmer's daughter, and they had 6 children, 5 girls, and me. And that's how an Irishman ends up in a small town in North Louisiana. How was the trip to Texas?
Interesting. Rowdy's father left the family when Rowdy was young. His whereabouts are still unknown. Rowdy's mother is in a nursing home in Cargenta suffering from dementia. When I went to speak to her about Rowdy, she thought I was Rowdy. Now, Charlie's father is deceased. Charlie's mother said that when he was younger, he got in with the wrong crowd, and the last thing he said was that he was going out with some friends, and he was going to be back later. Did, however, get to speak with the person that saw the two of them alive for the last time before they left for Coldwell Spring.
And?
He said that Rowdy and Susan Miller had had a heated argument, and she had gone to Coldwell Spring to visit an old friend.
Did he say who this old friend was?
No, he didn't know, but he did say that Rowdy was angry, he was irritated, he wanted to make things right between him and Susan.
Well, it doesn't prove anything, but it does explain why those two were here in Coldwell Spring. Anything else?
Not in Cargenta, but I did get a call from our ballistics expert in Baton Rouge who said that the slug we found in Rowdy's grave is a slug from a 1903 Springfield rifle.
It's a World War I rifle.
Anything happening?
It's been pretty slow. I thought you played piano.
I do. I was actually thinking of picking up a second instrument.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend.
Thanks. By the way, Deputy Ross, I've been meaning to tell you, nice work on that crystal meth case.
I had a hunch they weren't local, that the stuff was coming in from out of town. I was just following my instincts.
Well, your instincts were spot on.
Thank you, sir.
People said I looked more like a singer in a rock and roll band than a sheriff. So, what's on your mind?
I worked for Colby Concrete Construction for over 30 years.
If and when we go to trial, Bill, I'm going to need you to testify.
Anything I can do to help.
There was one other thing about that car. Something my father told me. I'm not sure it would help you with your investigation.
Hey, Susan, how's it going? I'm a little nervous. I had my evaluation.
Oh, no worries. I heard you're getting all outstanding, so you're going to do great.
Really?
Yes. So get in there.
Okay.
Dr. Weinberg at 2 o'clock is here.
Susan Miller?
Yes.
Special Agent Williams, Louisiana Bureau of Investigation.
Okay.
I'm working a joint investigation with the District Attorney's Office.
You're working with Jim O'Neill.
Yes, I need you to come by my office.
Your office?
Yes. Courthouse, second floor. I have a temporary office set up. You let us know your schedule. We can work something in conveniently.
Why do I need to come to your office?
I think you know why.
You know, I'm in a little bit of a rush right now.
Well, look, what I have to talk about is more important than whatever it is you may or may not have to do today.
I presume you've read the Cargenta report of 1985.
Yes.
Then why do you need me?
Just Standard procedures. There's some follow-up questions.
I didn't kill Rowdy, if that's what you want to know, okay?
If you don't come in voluntarily, I will have you subpoenaed.
Fine. Subpoena me.
I hope you don't have some naive belief that the sheriff is going to get you out of this.
This man asked me the other day if I thought we did the right thing sending our troops over there. His father thought we had to intervene to stop the spread of communism, but he thought the war was a monumental waste.
What did you say to him?
I told him people would still be debating that issue long after I'm gone. I mean, everyone has their own worldview, shapes how they see things. In a way, I envy people who can see things so simply and clearly. I was assigned to an ARVN unit, Army of the Republic of Vietnam, South Vietnamese. We were on patrol in a rice paddy one afternoon in An Long province in the Mekong Delta when we came under fire from an enemy tank and column of armored personnel carriers. The ARVN commander called in an airstrike. I remember after the airstrike, we walked across the rice paddy for a body count. And this one particularly gruesome corpse was a North Vietnamese tank crewman who tried to climb out of the turret. Only the upper half of his body was visible, his charred torso still fused to the turret. And I remember turning and looking away and whispering to myself as I looked at the patches of scorched earth and destruction all around. What a waste.
Miss Lanning, what can you tell us about the disappearance of your husband, Rowdy?
I don't know. Nothing.
Isn't it true the two of you are having marital problems?
Don't a lot of people have marital problems?
Isn't it true that he committed acts of violence against you? Miss Landry?
He used to hit me.
He used to hit you?
Yeah, I left him a week ago.
You ever been to Coldwell Spring?
Yeah, I was there a little while ago.
Isn't it true you were in Coldwell Spring right around the time Rowdy disappeared?
I don't know exactly the time and date that I was there, okay?
So you're telling me you don't know anything about the disappearance of your husband?
No, sir, I don't.
I don't believe you. I think you're lying. I think you know exactly what happened. In fact, I think you killed him. I think
No!
you killed Rowdy.
No!
Didn't you
No,
kill
okay.
him? Susan. What the hell's going on?
So, Mike, what about this case has you puzzled?
Back then, there was me, you, and 7 deputies on the force. There's 9 roads in and out of Choctaw Parish. You were out looking for those 2 men. 8 of us set up roadblocks on those other roads. Put yourself in Rowdy's place. You've chosen the one road that's not blocked, you're a quarter mile from the parish line, and potential freedom. So why'd you stop?
Is there a problem, Sheriff?
Yes, there's a problem. I want to know why you're following me.
I'm not following you, Sheriff. I'm an investigator for Quad States Insurance.
I know who you are.
We believe Susan Miller was involved in the death of her now deceased husband, Rowdy Landry.
Why don't you talk to District Attorney O'Neill? He's handling the investigation.
I've already done that.
Good for you. Meantime, I don't appreciate a Florida insurance investigator snooping around my parish.
What would you say your life's greatest achievement is?
Bringing my daughter Rachel into the world. What's yours?
I'd have to say graduating from university and becoming a teacher. Ask me something else.
Okay. Let's see. What is your greatest regret?
That's an easy one. That would be marrying Rowdy. What about you?
That's an easy one for me, too.
Yeah?
Leaving the 782 bar the night Dow was attacked. I should have sent my chief deputy. I was young and insecure and trying to step out of my father's shadow and prove to myself and everyone else that I could be as good of a sheriff as he had been. Strange how one event can change the entire course of your life.
It's hard to believe it's been a year. She didn't want to be buried in a cemetery. Said she didn't want to be next to a bunch of dead people. She wanted to be here, on the land that she loved, with a simple wooden cross.
She was a simple woman. What was that proverb she used to say? Live simply,
that others may simply live.
I met with Special Agent Williams.
You were the first deputy on the scene that night.
The car was exactly 3 miles from where the hunters found Rowdy's remains. There was no blood or other evidence in or around the car. It appeared Rowdy had abandoned the vehicle and vanished. Within 20 minutes, you and all the other deputies had shown up. And that's all I know about the case.
He's not interested in what you know. He's interested in what you don't know.
Why, hello, Bobby. I didn't expect the Attorney General to drive all the way here to Choctaw Parish. Have a seat.
This is yesterday's Morning Advocate. We've got to move forward because people are saying it's been 15 years, nobody's even been arrested.
Hey.
Hi. What was that all about?
Oh, nothing. Just Sheriff Larson having a bad day.
There's no easy way to say this, but I don't think we should see each other anymore.
I know it all too well. Traveling down a lonesome road to nowhere, counting down these lonely miles till I lose track. I don't know where I'm going, but I know that I ain't turning back. Now it's too late for that. So I just keep driving on, hoping this old road might take me somewhere that can't be touched by your memories. God only knows where that place could be. It's gonna take all the miles in Texas for me to drive away these blues. It's gonna take all the miles in Texas to get me a million miles away from you and keep my poor heart from breaking in two. It's gonna take every mile of Texas to give me your...
Heard DeMarcus isn't playing baseball this year.
No, he decided to focus on football.
I don't blame him. If I were being recruited to play college ball, I'd put my energy into that one sport.
Grace, she just got an ROTC scholarship.
Which branch?
Navy.
Sweet.
We enter a plea of not guilty, Your Honor.
Given the seriousness of the charges, we'll have to hold the sheriff without bail until trial.
We understand the court's position, Your Honor.
How much time does everyone need to prepare?
Your Honor, I'd like to state at this time that just prior to the arraignment this morning, we provided defense counsel with a list of all prospective witnesses and a copy of all evidence we intend to introduce at trial.
That's correct, Your Honor. And since my client is being held without bail until the trial, we're prepared to try this case as soon as possible. I'm sure the district attorney shares my sentiments in this, given the fact that this is a very old case.
That's correct, Your Honor.
Presuming, Your Honor, that no additional evidence will be discovered between now and the trial, we're prepared to go to trial in 2 weeks' time.
Okay, we'll start the trial 2 weeks from today on April 18th. Court is adjourned.
All rise. The Judicial Court of Choctaw Parish is now in session. Please be seated. Case before us today is the state of Louisiana versus Benjamin Larson. Are we ready to proceed?
State's ready, Your Honor.
Defense is ready, Your Honor.
State, call your first witness.
Your Honor, the state would call Dr. Weston to the stand. Raise your right hand, sir. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Doctor, would you state your full name and occupation for the record, please?
I'm Dr. Aubrey Weston. I'm a forensic scientist for the state of Louisiana.
And how did you become involved in this case?
I was contacted by your office, by the district attorney's office, to run a series of forensic tests on some human remains which have been found in a wooded area belonging to Gulf South Pulp and Paper.
What, if any, conclusions did you reach from this testing?
We contacted missing persons and were able to match the bones and teeth to one Rowdy Landry, a former resident of Cargenta, Texas, who had apparently been missing since 1985.
Anything else?
We ran a DNA test on some bloodstains which had been found on Rowdy Landry's shirt. We subpoenaed the medical records of several suspects and were able to compare their DNA to that found on the shirt.
Doctor, I'm going to show you what we've marked as State's Exhibit 1. Do you recognize this item?
Yes, it's the blood-stained shirt that was found in a shallow grave with Rowdy Landry's remains.
Were you able to identify the person or persons whose blood is on it?
Yes. The DNA is a positive match for both Rowdy Landry and Sheriff Lawson.
I'll turn to the witness, Your Honor.
Dr. Weston, do you know the cause of Rowdy Landry's death?
The only remains of Rowdy Landry were his bones and teeth. All of his soft tissues, his skin, his brain, his internal organs, his muscles, had long since disintegrated. So no, without further evidence, we cannot say exactly how he died.
You didn't see Rowdy Landry that night he disappeared because you weren't in Coldwell Spring that night, isn't that correct?
That's correct, yes.
So, based upon your testimony before the court today, would it be accurate to say that you have reasonable doubts?
Objection, Your Honor. Counsel is asking for a legal conclusion.
Sustained.
I'm a forensic ballistic expert for the state of Louisiana.
Mr. Rodriguez, I'm going to show you what we've marked as State's Exhibit number 2 and ask you if you recognize that item.
Yes, it's a rifle slug that was found in the shallow grave where Rowdy's remains were discovered.
No further questions, Your Honor.
I was out that night with my wife, Sheriff Lawson, Al Tran, some other people listening to some music at the 782 bar. Then at some point in time, I couldn't tell you exactly when, 2 men I never met came in.
I want to know your name. Come on, baby. What? Okay, I got you something.
She's married.
Maybe she just thinks she's too good for me.
I think you should leave.
Leave? I just got here. Come on, Rowdy, she's married. Let's go. Is there a problem here?
This man's harassing dog.
I think you need to leave, buddy.
Hey, Sarah. Sheriff, it's for you.
I
think I'm gonna go home now. You don't have to walk me out, Gloria. I'll call you tomorrow.
Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm tired also.
Okay, let's go.
Why is Dal's car still here?
After the medical examination, they said Dolly had been raped. After they released her, we took her home. I asked her if she wanted me to call Sheriff Larson, and she said no. He had me taken her to the range for shooting lessons, and she would take care of it herself.
Mr. Sims, did you notice anything different about Sheriff Larson?
Objection, Your Honor.
Overruled.
The sheriff's hand was bleeding.
Mr. Sims, did you think you or anyone else could keep this information from getting back to Sheriff Larson?
Coldwell Spring is a small town. I knew he would find out.
Isn't it true that when you first saw Dow lying on the ground in the parking lot, you said it's going to be hell to pay when Sheriff Larson finds out?
I may have said that.
How are you gentlemen doing today?
Hey there.
Great.
Let me know if you have any questions about the menu.
What do you recommend?
Lasagna's good.
I'll look into it.
I'll be back in a few minutes to take your order.
Thank you, Jill.
How goes the trial?
All right, I suppose.
In my opinion, the evidence just points to one stark conclusion. The only question is, does the jury agree with me?
Why don't you go ahead and head back to Baton Rouge, beat the late afternoon traffic. This case is going to finish up today, and there's nothing else you can do.
I'd like to stick around just a little while longer. There's still something I want to look into.
In the spring of 1985, I was sitting in our portable trailer about 100 yards from the dam, talking with my boss, the project manager. We saw someone run up to the dam, throw a large object into the mix, and begin running away in a hurry. I ran out of the trailer and called out to the person.
Did he respond?
No, I presume it was a he, ignored me or didn't hear me.
What happened next?
I went up to the dam and looked into the mix, but I didn't see anything. It was too late to pull the object out of the mix.
Mr. Clark, do you know who the person was, the one who threw that object?
Well, it was pretty dark, and like I say, I was 100 yards away, but he sure looked a lot like...
Objection, Your Honor.
State, did he see the person or not?
I'll withdraw the question, Your Honor. What did you do after that?
The next day, I reported the incident to Chief Deputy Morton.
Do you know if Sheriff Larson ever investigated the incident?
To my knowledge, he never did.
That's all the questions I have for you, Mr. Clark.
Mr. Clark, you are 100 yards away from the dam where the concrete was being poured. That's a long distance between you and the man that allegedly threw something in the concrete.
I suppose.
And this incident took place at night.
Yes, it was dark, but we had portable lights set up and turned on all around the dam itself.
Does the state have any more witnesses?
No, Your Honor, we rest our case.
Defense?
We have 2 witnesses, Your Honor.
Let's take a 15-minute break. Court will be in recess until 3 o'clock.
I'm here to investigate a possible insurance fraud.
And who is the subject of your investigation?
Susan Miller.
Tell us about the nature of your investigation.
Susan Miller was married to Rowdy Landry back in East Texas in the mid-1980s. We have statements from several witnesses confirming that they were both in Coldwell Spring the night that Rowdy disappeared. We also ascertained that Susan Miller owned a firearm.
Tell us about the insurance policy.
He had a policy through his employer, Lone Star Drilling and Exploration.
And what was the value of the insurance policy?
$100,000.
Who was the beneficiary?
Susan Miller.
You're a witness.
Mr. Gordon, your employer paid the proceeds of that policy, did it not?
Yes, we paid it back in 1992 to Susan Miller, shortly after Texas courts declared Rowdy legally dead.
At the time that Rowdy went missing, you conducted an investigation, did you not?
The agent at that time did.
And Quad States cleared Mrs. Miller.
The agent submitted a report to the lawyer for Quad States, who determined there was not enough evidence to implicate Susan Miller.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Reynolds, how did you meet Dow Tran?
We met on the set of Midnight Deceptions. I was doing hair and makeup for the cast, and Dow was playing the lead female role. In the film, she's a field agent for the CIA, and she's on the track of an international arms dealer in Hong Kong.
Mark.
Yes, Judge?
I think we get the picture. Let's try to get back on track.
So you and Dow met through the film industry.
Yes, and after that we became very close.
In what way?
I would advise her on men. We'd go shopping together, we'd go to cocktail parties together, and she confided in me.
Did she ever mention a man named Rowdy Landry?
Yes. I knew she had a dark secret and I didn't want to push, but eventually she disclosed to me that she had been raped by him. Of course, I reassured her it wasn't her fault and that she should seek counseling. Sometime later, I asked her if the man that had raped her had ever been brought to justice, and she said yes, he had, but not by the courts.
No further questions.
Mr. Reynolds, when you asked Ms. Tran if the man who raped her had ever been punished, and she allegedly told you...
She didn't allegedly tell me. Dow told me.
When Ms. Tran told you that the man was punished, but not by the courts, do you know what she meant?
Well, she didn't explain it in specific terms.
So she never said that Sheriff Larson killed Rowdy?
Well, not in so many words, but she implied
Your Honor, I'm going to have to object to the witness.
Sustained. Mr. Reynolds, just answer the question. Don't speculate or guess as to what Ms. Tran may or may not have implied. That's for the jury to decide. Just tell us what Ms. Tran actually said.
Yes, Your Honor. Dow never said that Sheriff Larson killed Rowdy Landry.
Redirect.
Just a minute, Your Honor. Mark, have you ever heard of a woman named Susan Miller?
Heard of Susan Miller? I know Susan Miller.
Your Honor, may we approach?
Approach.
Your Honor, Emily should have asked those questions on direct examination. She can't bring up new issues on redirect.
I didn't have this information before my direct examination of the witness. I just received it.
Okay. Here's what we're going to do. I'm going to let you proceed with your questions, Emily. But you better make your point quick. I'm also going to let Jim recross, but only as to the witness's knowledge of Susan Miller.
Mark, tell us how you met Susan Miller.
She attended a cocktail party at my house in Long Beach about a year ago.
Did you know her before then?
No, I did not.
How did she end up at your cocktail party?
The invitation states invitee plus guest. Susan Miller came as Dow's guest.
So Dow and Susan knew each other?
knew each other. They grew up together.
Order in the court.
They grew up together?
Yes, in an orphanage here in Louisiana.
What happened at the orphanage?
Well, eventually Susan was adopted by a family in Texas, and Dow stayed in the orphanage until she graduated high school.
Anything else?
Yes. After Susan left the orphanage, she and Dow wrote each other. They've been in contact all these years.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Why don't we just cut to the chase?
Sure.
Did Susan Miller, or anyone else for that matter, ever say that Susan Miller killed Rowdy Landry?
No.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Does the defense have any more witnesses?
No, Your Honor, we rest our case.
State, any rebuttal witnesses?
No, Your Honor.
Members of the jury, you will now retire to the jury room to deliberate. Members of the jury, it is my understanding that you've reached a verdict.
Yes, Your Honor, we have.
Will the defendant and counsel please rise? Mr. Foreman, what is the verdict?
We, the members of the jury, find the defendant Benjamin Larson not guilty.
Hello, Susan Miller speaking. There's a verdict on Sheriff Larson's trial. What is it? Not guilty. Okay, thank you.
Afternoon, Sandra.
Afternoon.
Anything for me?
Yes, sir. David, there's something in your office for you.
Ben.
Let you know what this is.
You know I know what that is. Clip-loaded, magazine-fed bolt-action service rifle, 1903 Springfield.
You ever read any Edgar Allan Poe, The Purloined Letter?
This week's English class at Coldwell Spring High.
I actually thought it was in the concrete of the Coldwell Spring Dam, along with Charles Ray Carter.
I was going to throw Rowdy's in there, but after Bill Clark saw me, I couldn't take a chance on making a second trip. You know, when I was in Coldwell Spring High, Coach Reed used to make us run with weightlifting plates, rocks, sandbags, so it wasn't a stretch to carry a body. The dam wasn't that far away. My adrenaline was so far off the charts, I could have carried a fire truck. After I buried Rowdy, I changed into my running shoes, drove Rowdy's car to the parish line, and ran back through the woods. So it appeared Rowdy
abandoned the vehicle and vanished.
I didn't intend to shoot them at all, but for some reason they tried to flee on foot. I remembered how your predecessor botched the case against my father's killer. So I suppose in the back of my mind, I thought they were going to get away with their crime. There was no way I was going to hit them with my service weapon. And then I remembered my grandfather's Springfield was on the back seat. I'd never shot it before. But as I breathed, relaxed, raised the rifle, I remembered our drill instructor told us you had to make every round count. One shot, one kill. Sometimes when I replay it in my mind, it's as if it wasn't me at all, just some deranged version of me. And the real me is observing the incident from a distance. I know what I did was wrong.
But I was out of my mind that night. I mean, my whole world had come apart. So people can judge me, discuss over a few beers on a Friday night what they would have done differently or better. No one can know what they'll do in that situation until they're there. They say a man should never take justice into his own hands, and they're absolutely right. You'll only make a bad situation worse, and you may not walk away from it. They also say if a man is truly regretful, he can be forgiven of his sins. Maybe I can be forgiven of mine. Sweet.
Me or the car?
You mostly, but the car too. People in California must have a lot of money.
Yeah, we're all rich.
Maybe I should go into acting.
Hard times, where to run and hide. Seems he occupied, oh, my peace of mind. We'll get into darkness and then deeper in the shade. You always got reasons, and there are some still to be made. We'll want another more. Now we heading to the shore. Some sweet jazz floating away. Get into darkness and then deeper in the shade. You always got reasons, and there's some still to be made. We are one another more. Now we're heading for the shore. Some sweet jazz floating away.